Okay, so now that we've talked about the different grades of essential oils, we've talked about how they're distilled and things like that, you might be sitting there saying to yourself, okay, well, Kate, are these actually safe for me to use? And so I kind of have this written out for me, and I just want to read this kind of to you so that we can kind of talk about the safety of them. So there are certain oils that are photosensitive, meaning you don't want to put it all over your face and run out and sunbathe, right? Those are mostly like your citruses, your lemons, your grapefruit, things like that. You don't necessarily want to apply right to your skin and go outside, just because of this photosensitive sensitivity of them, all right? When using on your skin, always watch for redness, or if it's kind of burning a little bit, and always dilute it with a carrier oil if that starts to happen. You might be sitting there going, what the heck is a carrier oil? So let me kind of explain. A carrier oil it's a fatty oil like olive oil, coconut oil, grapeseed oil, and its molecules are much larger than the essential oil. So I always do like an organic coconut, fractionalized coconut oil, there we go, for my stuff, just because I like it. I like the way it feels on my skin, and it's organic, and I've researched the company, of course I have, and things like that, so that I make sure that I'm not putting too much on my skin. Especially with a new oil. If I've used it before, like lavender, I've used it many times before. I know I don't have any reaction to it, or ill reaction to it, I should say. And so I don't necessarily do a carrier oil with that. But again, when you're new and when you get your kit or whatever, I just want to make sure you know these things. And what the carrier oil does is, because the molecules are much larger, the essential oil molecule kind of bounces back and forth before it can be absorbed into the skin, which is pretty cool, right? So I always recommend using a carrier oil when you're brand new using an oil and you've never used before. Use a carrier. If you are using it on children, if you're using it on a dog or a cat or what have you, you kind of want to put those things together just so that you're making sure that it's safe for them to use. Yeah, that's what I recommend. Be wary of putting oils topically near your eyes. Like I said, I put lavender underneath my sinus passages at night. I never really go near my eyes. If I decide, like, there have been times when I've had like a zit or something, like, hey, here, I'll take like a Q-tip and put that on the Q-tip and apply it right to where I'm going to apply it. That way I make sure I'm not getting it near my eyes, just because you don't want that stinging sensation. And if you do get it near your eyes, wash it out with like a carrier oil. Remember, water and oil don't mix, so good to know. Let's see here. What about an internal use of essential oils? One of the top aromatherapy schools in the United States doesn't advocate essential oils for internal use. So they really reject the French. They're like, bah to them. And why they don't is because most oil companies don't carry the same standards that we do. They add, like I said, remember back to the grade system that we had. That's kind of why they don't recommend that. However, let me get back down to my notes. We have seen that the FDA has actually told us that we can, based upon what we have, and they're usually in this cute little white label for easy identification that this is an okay oil to ingest. So like your lemon oil, I have a thieves oil that's in this cute little white label, but I'm going to tell you, person to person, this oil is the exact same oil as this. Ours are that safe. So, but this is the FDA white label vitality oil, okay? I'm gonna sit that over there. So let's see here. Young Living utilizes all three methods. We advocate all three methods, like I said, with the English, the French, and the German. I know this is a lot of information. I'm sorry. So we advocate for all three of these models. So if you might be sitting there and going, oh, well, Kate, that doesn't sound really great. But let me tell you, on the flip side of this, okay, I would encourage you to go and look at the ingredients list in your cleaning products and research them out. It's really scary. The kinds of things that we have in our day-to-day life that we spray, that we use, it's really scary, okay? Did you know every day we put on products on our skin, in our body, and breathe them, but many of these products contain damaging chemicals, okay? Crazy. The average woman applies over 300 chemicals a day. 300 chemicals a day, okay, to her body just through soaps, makeup, shampoos, and hair care products. Okay, 80 of those products are applied every single day before breakfast. Okay, and those products are 95% like awful products, okay? When you use Young Living essential oil, you're using a product with one ingredient, like lemon. One ingredient, that's it. Oregano oil, okay? Tangerine, guess what? Tangerine oil. There are no additives and no chemical yuck in them, okay? That's why I use Young Living. I know what I'm putting on my skin. When I use a Biore strip, I have no idea what's going on in there. I have no idea. None. I would much rather use a product that is safe for me, safe that I can use around my dog, safe that I can put on and go to work and be around kids and not worry that I'm going to give them something or that they're taken care of, they're safe, you know? And so we're going to talk more about the kit. And I know this is a lot of information. And when I started my essential oil journey, it was really overwhelming for me. And so Beth encouraged me to purchase a kit. And that's what we're going to talk about next. Because this made it a lot more streamlined. I started my journey off with a Young Living starter kit, and it was so worth it. So worth it. Because it eased me into it. Instead of like knowing all this information all at once, you know. I don't know everything. And plus, I'm a frugal person and I liked getting a good bargain. And so I'm going to talk more about the essential oil premium starter kit next video. Okay, so stay tuned. Love you guys.